Hi there, this is Karen, and I'm here with Whiskey Sour, my buddy. I thought before reading my blog today, I should start off by, I guess I'll call it semi-addressing the elephant in the room. I have been inundated with email, so this isn't spreading gossip or dirty laundry or anything, because all you guys seem to have got all the dirty gossip spread to you anyway. That there was some fallout that happened with one of the community members, and it was him that forwarded and CC'd everybody on the list, so it wasn't me. So of course I had no intent of involving anybody else in my own issues with someone. So that really sucks. It really sucks that that any kind of fallout should happen, but humans are humans, and not all humans will see eye to eye or get along, or there'll be problems. But I'm not going to apologize, because I wasn't the one who forwarded it, but I will say I feel kind of bad that that you guys had to be part of something that had nothing to do with you. And even when I got the CC'd emails, I was just like, are you kidding? Like, what? I just saw everybody else's name on this huge list, and I was like, oh man, those poor people. But I didn't do it, and I wasn't at fault, and it's not too often I can say that I wasn't at fault, but that was something that that sideswiped me, and I was attacked, and that's all I'm going to say about it. So that this happens when, you know, the community gets pretty big. The odd person kind of will jump out and do something funky. And I'm really happy to say that doesn't happen too often with us. I think you know, our community overall has been pretty good. I've been online for 5 years, and I can still only count on one hand the number of times anything like that happens. So I do feel bad that you guys had to be all part of that, but again, I'm not going to apologize, because I didn't do anything. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I was inspired to write a blog, of course. Anything that's in my day can inspire it. I had a few things that inspired today's blog, and it's called "You Don't Have to Do Anything You Don't Want to." I get invited to a lot of parties and functions living in Hollywood, and if I was super bored out of my mind, I could just crawl into every corner of this steamy scene. My answer when somebody asks me if I want to do one of these Hollywood functions is, I don't want to. I just don't want to. The answers people usually give range from I'm washing my hair to, oh, I have to stay home with my pet parakeet, you know, he's not feeling well. I don't know if you can't find the energy as you get older, or I can't be bothered with excuses, but basically my answer is I don't want to, because it's the truth. Like I've said to you guys before, I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. So I can be hot-headed and foul-mouthed and all those things, but my truth is I don't want to. So then the follow-up question is, well, why don't you want to? My answer is I just don't want to. I just don't want to, you know? I had a giggle this past year. A friend of mine was moving from her apartment, and, you know, she was giving away all the stuff that that didn't serve her purpose anymore, like we were talking about. And she had a s'mores maker. If you guys don't know what that is, it makes those yummy s'mores candies, candy treats. And so she had the s'mores maker, and it's one of those things that, you know, I think if you have in your home, or if somebody gives it to you as a gift or something, you think, oh, it's going to be fun, and then, you know, it's not like your Snoopy snow cone machine where you just crank that thing out every day. So she offered it to me very lovingly, and it was really cool. And at the time, I was a little bit more eloquent than my typical, I don't want it. I said, you know what, you should just give that to someone who really wants it and who will use it and appreciate it. And the wording was kind of a nice way of saying, I don't want it, I won't use it, I won't appreciate it. So I actually don't mind when someone asks me why I don't want to do something. I'm not annoyed, because, you know, after all, they cared enough to invite me to begin with, and that's pretty cool. And then their follow-up question might be enough to actually get me out of the house for a night, you know, when I'm feeling sorry for myself. But sometimes you say no because you're just used to saying no. You know, you get so comfortable just being in your own place, or maybe you're depressed or whatever it is, and you just say no because you can't really be bothered to go get in the shower and put on makeup and do all that stuff. But I don't know, it just kind of depends. Sometimes I will say no, if I really just can't be bothered, brushing my hair that day. Anyway, sometimes I'm glad they ask it, but I always try to remain as honest as possible with my answers that I give. If I get asked enough times to do something that I just don't want to do, I tend to wonder if the person even knows me at all. That's probably my bigger annoyance. It's kind of like when someone buys me a pink sweater. Well, of course, it's not something you will ever see me wear. I mean, my entire wardrobe pretty much is black. Like, it's just, it's not something, you won't see pink things in my home. There's a lot of browns and grays and whites and, things you can even see around me. Like, it's just, pink is not something you're gonna see. I'm probably not gonna put on a little pink beanie for one of my videos. So, it's not something you'll see me wear. But if someone is that way off base with me, I don't think it's wrong to tell them that I don't wear pink, or shake them, go, what are you thinking? It might sound crass, but just let me explain. If someone is that confused about who I am and has not paid attention to the fact that I never wear it and that there's nothing in my home that's pink, I think that they must take absolutely zero interest in me. So it's not the thought that counts and all those things. It's just that they really are so way off base that they simply don't know me. Now, in all fairness, if a little old lady who lives next door to my grandmother met me one time and just ran inside and felt inspired to knit a sweater, and she had some extra pink yarn lying around, and she knit me an awesome sweater, I would see that as somebody who had a really good heart, and it was a good motivation, and that's cool. I'm not suggesting someone has zero motivation by not knowing my colors, but when people who are close to me want to take me to a Hollywood VIP party, I have to really ask myself, does this person know anything about me? Like, I have learned to assess who is my crowd and kind of who isn't. This doesn't mean I don't love everybody. It's just, you kind of, like-minded spirits find each other. And this could come off as only some people are allowed on the playground. Hearing that one fairly recently. This is not true. The perspective I have is that they're trying to drag me to their playground where I can't be free. And I can't be free to play, and I feel caged. That's the difference. So and that could even come off as, oh, you're not allowed on my playground, and if you don't play by my rules, then you can't be here. It's just that, it's the protection of one's spirit and one's character. And to go to some club and spend 6 hours is the most ridiculous waste of time I can imagine. What can I do at home in 6 hours? It's like, that's what gives me more joy. I'm really a homebody, and I've just really learned to love the quiet. The same goes for me engaging in conversations where I feel bullied to talk to someone. And the answer is, I'm done with this conversation. This is something you guys, I will not hide. If I feel bullied in a conversation, I will be done with the conversation. I will be done. And that will be the statement that I'll make. And I've been accused of not finishing the argument. There's my little quotes again. These are supposed to signify quotes. Some arguments don't have an end. They just don't. And some people talk in circles, in condescending, dizzying kind of style. And I've learned to recognize that. Simply, I've just learned to recognize that that's going down that road. And my time is more valuable. And I don't think that's selfish. I think if a conversation is going nowhere and you're wasting time, you shouldn't involve yourself in it. It's just, we don't all have the capability of fixing every single other person or every single conversation that comes along. It's like we don't have a magic wand to be able to do that. So I think it's important to kind of assess that. And so that when I'm asked why I won't finish the conversation, my answer is, I don't want to. This sounds crass, but that's what it is. You can't get more honest than that. That's what I say, accuse me of a lot of things, but I'm an honest person. This also protects my spirit, and without compromising my character. And it lets people know that I will not engage in war. That's the biggest part of it. And, well, then I get accused of not loving them the same as other people, and or other people in the community who get my attention. And therefore, I'm not spreading true love like what I usually suggest. I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but a friend told me yesterday, people are never banned, only the mentalities. And I think we have to learn to separate what a conversation is, what an argument is from the person. And yes, of course, the way that they conduct themselves is indicative of their character, but I think it's important to separate. So I'm not putting up a wall between me and other people when something goes horribly wrong. I'm protecting myself from further harm. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm protecting my spirit. Nobody has to listen to false allegations, abuse, anger. A person does not have to put themselves into that. And I don't have to do it if I really think it's harmful. I just don't have to. And I don't want to. That's the thing. I had a mother who pulled me out of an abusive relationship. That she did that for my own good. I couldn't even recognize it. Now I at least can recognize when things are, it doesn't even have to be full-on abusive, but when they're just harmful to my character. I distinctly know what is healthy for me and what isn't now. So it's not my job to fix anyone or enlighten anyone here. I just simply share. I'm not this all-knowing, all-powerful shepherd of the flock. I'm not some strong psychiatrist or doctor who's so strong in their spirit that can handle any scene or any dialogue from any person. That's not me. So I hope that's really clear, just for anybody else who has that feeling. Those people are truly gifted. I admire those people. I'm just one sheep with some typing skills and a camera that I'm talking to. It's unfair to put that on me. And I don't put that on any of you guys either. If I don't want to do something, I simply don't have to. Through my own journey and my struggles, something I have learned is to be very careful about what I engage in so that my spirit doesn't get damaged in its fragile state. And this doesn't mean I consider myself weak. I don't consider myself a weak person. I've been through a lot of things that have given me strength and have grown my character. It's just more like a diabetic who's mindful of how much sugar they ingest. Just cautious, that's it. And in short, I know what's good for me, and I know what isn't. That is the extent of my power over here. Just the realization that I just don't have to do anything I don't want to do. About all there is to it. Overall, just like this pink sweater, I'm more annoyed if someone doesn't pay attention enough to know me first. Being asked to go to a Hollywood function is their assumption that because I live here and I work here, I must also do those things. Being put on some ridiculous pedestal, and you guys know how much I hate that position. Just because there's a large community here that gathers, that's equally as insane. That's what community is that we don't all have it figured out. And you know what? I consider myself just as messed up as all you guys. For those who truly know me, you will know that by trying to engage me, by pressing buttons, or maybe cornering me into some conversation, it's not going to end well. It's just not. I don't function that way. This shouldn't be a shock when it just all goes to pot, when that's the approach, I believe we can really help people. We do have the power to do this. I believe we can love people too. I think it's important for each of us to watch out for one thing, though. Does the thing you are being asked to engage in compromise who you are? I don't think that should be standoffish or elitist or snotty or any of the other words that could go with that. If someone wants you to do something, if they want you to engage in something, if they want you to even wear something that isn't part of your character or could do damage to your character, I think it's really just good to assess the pros and cons. That's all. Just take a quick assessment. I signed off today. Too old for peer pressure. Come smoke this joint. I don't have to engage in things I don't want to, whether that's the pink sweater, the Hollywood function, or an abusive conversation, or a harmful conversation, or just a conversation I don't want to be part of. I don't have to do those things. I just don't have to. I get to choose, pick and choose my battles. I get to pick and choose what I do every day. So my quote of the day is, "Your own mind is a sacred enclosure into which nothing harmful can enter except by your permission." thanks to Arnold Bennett. So I'll sign off with you guys today, and I will tune in with you tomorrow. It's all good over here. I'm all good. So from Whiskey Sour and me, till next time, rock on, guys.